All right, here we go. Here is the long-lost art of storytelling. One year, many years ago, I saw a child that was abandoned on a railroad tracks, about to be run over.
Is it tied
by
up?
a train?
Is it tied up?
Of course. Definitely. Ooh, the rainstorm's finally gonna come.
Baby or a child?
Baby. No. A child that could talk, like 4 or 5 years old, I guess. So
I'm
we
gonna
could have
go
some...
with like 5, alright? So. In
kindergarten.
I walked over to the baby. How old are we?
Your age, I'm my age.
No, we're one person.
Oh, we're one person.
How about we're like 24?
Okay, 24.
Alright, me, a young 24-year-old man.
Nice.
I'm obviously a 24-year-old man.
I think we should add this into the video because I like it so much.
Alright.
I don't know what it is, but I like it. Oh. I don't know where we scored this.
It's a magical word.
It's so cool.
So, me, a 24-year-old man, walked over to the child. But when I picked up the child...
I handed the child this green glowing orb. And I said, "Dear 5-year-old child, now that you are off of this railroad track and you are no longer going to be killed by a train, I give you this and I summon you with the gift of ultimate power."
But... Why are you looking at me like that? You're like...
By the way, the United States just beat France in the World Cup.
Okay, but then
Women's.
the child stole the orb. It ran off. No, it didn't run off. It grew ears and a tail and it turned into a werewolf child.
Ooh.
And it took the orb and it bit my arm. It tore my arm off. There was like blood and guts everywhere because there's guts in your arm.
Awesome.
And ran away.
So, as I was bleeding, I was running after the child because I needed to get the orb back. And I started to scream to the child, "What did you wish for? What did you wish for, dear child? Now that you're a werewolf and you just ate my left arm off." And the child said, "I wished for not only ultimate power, I also wished to be a vampire werewolf. So I could stay up all the time."
No, it was always a werewolf and it tricked you to get the orb.
Oh. Okay, so he was like, "Didn't you know I was a werewolf? And what I wished for with the herb
It's an herb.
was to be a vampire too, so I could stay up all the time and rip your arms off if I do choose to."
This is how kids get later curfews. They wish to be vampires. So the now vampire wolf child with all-knowing power is running down the road to supposedly take over the world.
Yes. But first he stops by the basketball court because he really wishes to play basketball.
No.
Now that he has
No,
vampire powers
no.
with his werewolf powers. And it's because I was just looking at a basketball and I really want to play basketball right now.
No, you
So,
were
like-
watching Teen Wolf. Like, you were watching the original Teen
Yeah,
Wolf. That's what he did.
right. Teen Wolf really was good at basketball.
Yeah.
Wasn't
That's
he
copyrighted
good at, like,
though, so
hockey or
you are gonna get
football?
sued.
We can't do that.
In the original Teen Wolf, he was good at basketball. In the second Teen Wolf movie, he was Jason Bateman, and he joined a fraternity or something. It was just an awful 80s movie. The werewolf / vampire stopped to play basketball, and we can't get sued because he's half vampire. So Teen Wolf, sorry, rights of Paramount. pictures are universally you can't sue us because he's a half
You're
vampire.
gonna get sued by Twilight combined with TV.
Edward.
Edward.
Edward and Jacob. You know what really bothered me? The fact that what's-her-face, Bella, got with Edward and she didn't get with Jacob. And then in the last movie, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched New Moon yet, part 1 and part 2, Jacob flashes through Bella's daughter's life and realizes that he is going to marry Bella's daughter, which is super creepy because he was already like 21 years old and Bella's daughter wasn't even born yet.
Yes! I had an entire conversation with Bella under a tree about that one day because she read all the Twilight books and I was like, that's creepy!
Super creepy. And Bella couldn't handle it at first. But then she realized that, like, since her daughter was half vampire, half human, she grew up to be Jacob's age within, like, 2 years.
Yeah!
So, yeah.
That was fun.
Can I just say,
I'm just not a fan of that.
cough, cough, copyright Buffy.
Cough, pedophilia.
No, like, oh, it's impossible for vampires to have children, and suddenly someone's pregnant with a vampire child.
Well, here's the thing, Indy.
Bella
was not a vampire.
Angel.
Bella got pregnant with a vampire and then had to become a vampire so they didn't eat her insides.
Which did not, they thought could not be done. But their love was so powerful, and it was also written by a Christian. That they tried.
Twilight was written by a Christian.
Twilight is a Christian book. It's about waiting until marriage to make whoopee with your husband. No, that's the whole purpose behind Twilight. Sorry, rated PG-13. The whole purpose between Twilight is to wait until marriage, which is called, what is that called?
Chastity.
Something like that. Yeah, they call it like what do they call it? There's some weird movement in the West about that.
Abstinence only.
Yes.
Chastity.
So anyway, so that's what she wrote those books for. She was trying to write a book about like being a great Christian, a good Christian.
So she wrote a book about a vampire werewolf love triangle in order to write a book about being a good Christian.
Well, yes, there was no sex in any of the books.
Yeah, and they waited until they were married.
Yeah, but Jacob just randomly didn't wear shirts.
Well, yes, all men do that. Have you read Daughter of Misty Gorges?
It was actually in movie 3 or movie 4.
Give him time.
I think it was Eclipse. Daughter of the Misty Gorges. Look at that.
Fantastic.
That is good. 1960s, 1970s. Well, anyways, yeah, and it was like the second or third movie.
Oh wait, we need to. There was something in one of these.
So it was the second or third movie, and Jacob was approaching Bella without a shirt on. He was all hot after working on a motorcycle or a car. And Edward looks at Bella and he's like, doesn't he ever own any shirts, or doesn't he ever wear any shirts? And like everybody in the movie theater was like, ha ha.
Oh.
And I knew that because I was a big fan of those movies and I actually saw that in the movie theater. Sad. That was extremely sad. I can't believe I just admitted that on camera.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brene Brown, Vulnerability, by the way. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
This quote in this book says, he's every bit as sexy as his father.
With an exclamation point. That's like, they have like previews to the books, and that's the preview for that.
Can we read some of this book to the audience?
Sure.
Let's do it. The long lost art of storytelling is turned into this story.
To reading this. This is
And Twilight.
This is
Hey, it's
the
from
long
the
lost art of
60s.
storytelling.
It is long lost.
Todd.
Well, it's only
I tell you, Christian.
You gotta be louder, they're not gonna be able to hear you.
Okay, hold on. You read this. I'm gonna go find the other ones.
Okay.
Where's the other one?
Ooh, she had so much, now she had nothing. Sarah took her role seriously. There was a surprise in store for Amy. Oh my gosh, look at these 4 novels. I don't know if you can see them. That's awesome. They're all like classic, like Love Boat. Okay, here we go. Ooh, that back when they were called Harlequin. Okay. She looked up at Cristobal, turning rapidly goose-fleshed, and said, "Oh, now I do remember you on the plane. We exchanged that grin, remember? Over that woman who was such a trial to the stewards. I guess they called stewardesses or airplane attendants back then were called stewards.
Aren't they? Yeah, those are stewards.
So they went from stewards to stewardesses to air flight attendants. Conrad's parents told me you were on it. Now, rush in. All of you. Jonesy, don't catch cold. Make for that hot bath. I'll greet you properly afterwards. The hot water was wonderful. How odd that after revealing in the mountain stream for cooling off purposes and basking in the sun, now one could turn to shivering. Cristobal slipped into her leaf brown pants. Leaf brown pants. That's interesting.
Leaf brown.
Pulled on
Everyone knows leaves are brown. Obviously.
Pulled on a white, cool-necked cashmere sweater. You know this from the 60s and the 70s with the cashmere sweaters. Rubbed at her short brown hair, ran a comb through it, fluffed it up as on ends, then applied makeup a little more heavily than usual.
We have to read this one next.
She stared at herself, wondering why, pulled a face and said to her reflection, "You idiot! What does it matter? He said Barbara was special. But anyway, makeup was good for the morale." Makeup was good for the morale. Indy, where did you go? You have to read the next Harlequin novel. Makeup was good for the morale. Oh my god. We were so sexist back then. It was so bad.
Okay.
Women's rights. Megan Rapinoe.
Actually, Jessica... Okay, so you're looking for a man. Actually, Jessica responded blandly. What I'm looking for is a husband. I want a civilized relationship with someone who accepts marriage as a business arrangement.
Ooh.
Lyle looked at her thoughtfully. Then you're talking about...
Wait, can we show them the front cover before you continue to read so they know what they're getting into? Is he like strangling her? Or is he like combing her hair?
I think she's
He's
just
biting
like
your
dead.
neck. That's like a vampire move. He's
Vampire.
pulling a vampire move. What's the name of this
Pulling
one?
an Edward guy.
Research into marriage.
Research into marriage?
Alright. So you're looking for the type of marriage that could be set aside. It was as if it were no longer valuable.
Ooh.
Well, yes, she agreed stiffly. You're young, only 26. What happens if you fall in love?
Is she like an older woman or a younger woman or something?
She's 26. He just said she's 26.
Oh, so
They're
he's
the people
older.
on the cover.
Okay, good.
The whole point is she falls in love with him. Research into marriage.
Oh, I didn't know if there was an age difference or not.
He was watching
It's
her
the
carefully.
60s. The guy's like 80, I swear.
Okay, can everyone...
Go for it.
He was watching her carefully. Jessica had a strange desire to convince him that she would make him a good wife.
Ooh.
That will never happen, she said coolly.
Ooh.
You see, I just don't believe in falling in love. But for the first time in her life, she wasn't sure.
Okay, here's the big question, right? Since we have a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old in the house. Say somebody says to you, like, they can't even look in your direction because they don't believe in love, or, they don't, the playing hard to get thing. Do you think that, like, works in your favor or against your favor?
I mean, it's
Or playing hard to get?
Yeah, if you're playing hard to get. Do you think it...
You've never tried that before. Everyone who plays like hard to get with me, I just never meet them. So, just I don't know.